There are a lot of debates in the zombies community, like what's the best wonder weapon? Which game has the best maps? And should Gobblegums really come back? But one debate that I don't really see many videos on is shields versus armor. The zombie shield became one of the most iconic mechanics in Treyarch Zombies, while armor completely changed how players survived in the newer games. Both systems essentially accomplish the same goal of keeping you alive, but they do it in two completely different ways. So today, we're looking at the strengths, weaknesses, and legacy of both mechanics because I wanted to answer one question: which one is actually better? So essentially, the zombie shield first appeared in Black Ops 2, and it immediately became a core part of the zombies experience for the next few games to come after it especially. And unlike perks, you couldn't just buy it all outright, you had to earn it. You needed to explore the map, memorize spawn locations, collect 3 separate parts, and build it at a workbench. Now, that might seem simple nowadays, but at the time, it added a completely new layer to the setup process on these maps. It basically gave more experienced players more of a route to follow every single game. As soon as the game started, you knew exactly where your shield parts could spawn, and building it became just as important as turning on the power or grabbing Juggernog. It essentially rewarded players for learning the map instead of simply just surviving. The biggest advantage of the shield was obvious: it protected your back. If you've ever trained zombies, you know one random hit from behind can end an entire game. And the shield practically eliminated that problem, where instead of constantly spinning around to check your back, you could focus on movement and positioning more. It made high round gameplay feel smoother while still rewarding good mechanics. But what really made shields memorable, in my opinion, wasn't just the protection, but it was also the personality. Every single game, and sometimes every single individual map, had their own version of the shield. DE, you have the rocket shield. On Blood of the Dead, you have the Spectral Shield. And then on 9, you have the Brazen Bull. The shield wasn't just a piece of equipment, but it became part of the map's identity, in my opinion. When people think of maps like Origins, Garad, Crovy, or Ancient Evil, they usually remember the shield just as much as the Wonder Weapon. Now, of course, like every system in this game, they definitely were not perfect. Like, once your shield broke, that was basically it. Like, you would instantly lose all of your protection, and depending on the game, you would either have to run back to a workbench or build a new one completely entirely. Sometimes it's not that big of a deal, but other times it would happen in the middle of a high round with hundreds of zombies chasing after you, which it could completely ruin the flow of the game a little bit, in my opinion. But there was also another issue. If you forgot to build your shield or simply didn't know where the parts were, you were at a huge disadvantage, and for new players, that could be absolutely frustrating. And then armor came in and changed everything. Fast forward to the modern era of zombies, where instead of collecting shield parts, player now collected salvage, and that salvage could basically be used to buy armor, repair it, and upgrade it throughout the match. There are still some people in the community that dislike this change, as they think it feels too simple, but also feels too much like Warzone. But honestly, after spending a lot of time with this system, it has become clear as to why Treyarch designed it this way. Because now, instead of only protecting your back, now you can take reduced damage from every direction. And instead of having to memorize shield locations for every single map, every player had equal access to the arsenal machine, which you can go and upgrade your armor. Now, BO6 and BO7 recently did move armor, so now that it's a wall buy instead, and I think it's honestly a way better change than having it in the arsenal machine. The armor system, in my opinion, is just cleaner and easier to understand, and it keeps matches moving without constant interruptions most of the time. In my opinion, the biggest difference between these mechanics isn't actually the protection, but it's what they encourage. Shields reward preparation, while armor rewards consistency. With shields, success begins basically before the difficult rounds even start. Like, you need to know the map, you need to know all the part locations, and you need to make building your shield part of your when you're setting up the map pretty much. Armor doesn't really ask you to memorize anything. It simply just asks you to survive long enough to either earn enough salvage or enough points to get enough armor. It's just a much more approachable system, especially for casual players. But the trade-off you get with that is now, because armor works almost the same on every single map, that means that some of the uniqueness disappears. Like, one of the coolest parts about classic zombies is that every map introduced new mechanics, and shields just help to reinforce that identity. While armor is more universal, which is completely fine, but it would be nice to have at least different looking armor plates on some of the maps. But the most important question you have to ask is not how it looks, but how it functions with regular gameplay. And if we're talking about replayability, I think that shields definitely have the edge. Building one always felt so satisfying, and it gave you another objective to do than just survive in the map, and it also gave you another reason to learn the map as well. It just added another mechanic that made zombies feel more rewarding. But if we're talking about pure gameplay, armor might actually be the better designed system, where it's just less frustrating for newer players and they can understand it a lot better. And it creates fewer situations where one broken piece of equipment suddenly gets you killed. Now, I did want to stress as well that neither system to me is objectively superior. They're simply just trying to solve the same problem in two completely different ways. Now, personally, what I think they should do is, instead of picking one system over the other, I think they should just combine both. Because imagine if armor handled your survivability while each map also featured a unique buildable shield with special abilities. The shield would add personality, strategy, and another progression goal unique to each map. Instead of competing with each other, they'd complement each other. That, in my opinion, could easily become the best defensive system zombies has ever had. It also just makes sense with the different eras of zombies that we've had. Like, the zombie shield represents classic zombies with the exploration and the preparation and all the map knowledge and stuff like that. And then armor basically represents modern zombies with the accessibility and the consistency and the fast-paced gameplay that modern zombies is known for. I don't think either system is perfect, but I don't think either system is universally better either. They're simply just different reward types for different types of players. In my opinion, the real question shouldn't be whether or not shields or armor should return. It's whether or not Treyarch can find a way to combine the strengths of both. And honestly, that might just be what zombies needs, in my opinion. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more zombies content, and let me know in the comments if you prefer armor or shield, or if you think they should combine both systems together. Let me know in the comments. All right, see ya.